Hey there. Good evening. Good evening. It's Dr. Croom, and you know what we're doing here tonight. It's the same thing we do every single Monday night, and we have fun with it too. So let me check my other pages, make sure I'm on point so that I can get any and all questions about senior pets. All right. We go to my personal page here. There we go. Boom. Excuse me. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Good to see you tonight. You know what we're here for because we're here every single Monday night for our senior pet chat. That's right, senior pet chat. So now we're here from anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on if we've got questions or comments. But as a holistic veterinarian, we kind of cling to certain aspects of the business that really make an impact on us. And for me, that is senior pets. I just love them. Love the little gray faces, little eyes that are clouding over, all the little things, the little slower movements. I love to be able to get in there and help them feel better. Um, Everybody wants to become a senior, whether you know it or not. You don't want to not become a senior, right? We all want to become a senior. So why don't we do everything we can to make those senior pets' lives just amazing? So, around here, we love senior pets. Welcome to the call tonight. Now, if you do have a senior pet, go ahead and put that in the chat. Put their name, what breed they are, what species, because, here we don't just talk about dogs and cats. We talk about all animals, right? Reptiles and amphibians. I've got friends and clients who have all types of animals, and we cover all of that, okay? Because senior pets do have certain issues that they go through. Senior humans do as well. A lot of times they are very similar or fall along those same lines. Very understandable. Last week, for instance, we talked about mobility, right? If you want to check that out, definitely look at one of the videos from last week. We talked about hips and joints and the mobility and cartilage and what's wearing down and grinding on each other. All things that we deal with as human beings as well. So, we don't want our pets who can't talk to us to be feeling like that, right? We want to prevent things. That's why we always say preventative care. And it's kind of like, oh, it's just some random term, but it's really an important term because when you have the responsibility of a pet and they can't talk to you and tell you what's going on, all they can do is limp about and show you other signs and symptoms and everything like that. So I want to talk about a very important topic tonight for senior pets, and that is senior pets and their eye issues. That's right. Senior pets have a host of issues that could be going on with their eyes. And so here's the place to talk about it, right? We want to talk about some of the disease processes. We want to talk about some of the holistic ways that we can help prevent those things. I'm a holistic vet. I got some things for you. Yes, there are certain times when pharmaceuticals are going to be needed, steroids, antibiotics, all of those things. You need to get in there and hit whatever that bug is, whatever that disease process is, nip it in the bud. That's what my mom always used to say growing up. Nip it in the bud. And that's what we can do. Sometimes pharmaceuticals are needed. But as a holistic vet, I love to find ways to help your pet's body heal itself. That's the whole goal of holistic. Sometimes we throw that word around holistic, like holistic this, holistic that. What does that really mean? It means that we're taking not only your pet's body into account, but also their mind state, their environment, their mentality, their behavior, all of these things that affect us as humans also affect pets. I mean, a pet that where there are several other pets in the home, it's going to be different than a pet that's a single pet, right? More than likely, that single pet's probably going to be a little spoiled, right, Mayo? That's right. But so yeah, so there's a lot of differences, a lot of things that make a situation holistic, but the main basis is we want to do little things here. That's why, having had the chiropractic certification recently that I can add to my credentials is so important because chiropractic work, it's people think of it always as, just the backbone, right? Oh, the backbone, crack the back, all of that stuff, right? But in actuality, it's a holistic modality because as you're doing the different pressure points, massage, you're affecting nerves, you're affecting blood vessels, muscles, not just bones, right? But sometimes those blood vessels and those nerves can get pinched in between those bones. And that's where the chiropractic work comes into play too. All right. So let's see if I think I have a comment over there. Hey, Robert Crazy Air Holmes. How you doing? Alana Jones. Great to see you. And Mr. Jason Jones. Hey, business partner. Great to see you. Tonight we are on our typical Monday nights talking about senior pets. And tonight we're going to be talking about their eye issues. There are a lot of issues that senior pets deal with, and a lot of them come from just general old age. Honestly, I will say that it can just be from wear and tear. You got your dogs running around bumping into corners of tables, and over the years they've dealt with a lot of different trauma potentially to their eyes. Even if the eye is closed, right, and bumped, that can cause trauma. Fibrosis can set up, behind the eye, all kind of things that are deleterious to the eyes over their years. Okay. So now with the eyes, one of the main issues that senior pets deal with their eyes is called calcific corneal degeneration. And basically that's where the cornea, if we know the cornea is the outer portion of the eye, the white part, right? That's the cornea. And what happens as pets get older is that cornea starts to mineralize on the surface. Just starts to, kind of mineralize and crystallize a little bit. And so it's kind of gritty and uncomfortable. So, they're starting to blink and maybe they're starting to tear, right? Maybe they've got some discharge coming from the eyes. Now, if you are able to, as the pet owner, if you're able to see what's going on and you're really observant about your pet's eyes, you can catch that quickly enough and get some medication in there to get rid of that mineralization. Okay. But now if you don't catch it in time, and it can be difficult to catch, those mineralizations can start to slough off and cause deep ulcers. And now we know once we get to the ulcer stage, that can be very, very painful and can require more serious treatments. Okay. Now, we also know that this corneal degeneration here can be caused by certain diseases as well. Okay. A lot of times it's things like kidney failure or Cushing's disease. Now, Cushing's is definitely a big one that can cause eye issues in pets. Okay. So, Cushing's is when the adrenal glands, those are the little glands on top of the kidneys, and they create cortisol. Normally, cortisol is produced in like stressful situations. Okay. Normally, what cortisol will do is it will allow your muscle to be broken down to use for glucose, for energy if needed. Okay. So Cushing's, when we see Cushing's dogs, for instance, they're kind of chubby and overweight. So they have the big old belly and different things, and they've got fluid here and fluid there. Cushing's is one of those diseases that can really cause eye problems big time. Okay. So again, normally our adrenal glands, they, put out cortisol only during stressful situations. So think of an example of like out on the frozen tundra, right? Out on the frozen tundra, you've got a wild dog, right? So your dog's ancestor. So he's got no food. He's got no food. Like the tundra is frozen Everything is closed for business for the winter time. And that wild dog, what is he going to do for energy? Right? What is he going to do? He's barely got any fat. He had a little bit of fat. Use that up for energy first. And now this is what we would call a stressful situation out in the wild. That body, that animal's body now needs to activate those adrenal glands to start breaking down their muscle for energy. Now, of course, we know that's not an ideal situation, but that's what happens. So in Cushing's, we've got these dogs. When I say Cushing's, I think like cushy, a cushy dog. They got this nice little bed and pillow right here, and they've got Cushing's. They're a little chubby, right? And that's not necessarily like a stressful situation. It's just that the adrenals start to put out more cortisol than they need. Okay. They're not in a stressful situation. They're not out on the frozen tundra, right? They're in your house every day, eating and doing his thing, but probably not getting much exercise too. Okay. So Cushing's is definitely a big disease process that affects the eyes. And what happens with Cushing's is the pet has fluid that accumulates behind the retina, right behind the retina of the eye, and it can cause that pressure to detach the retina. Of course, that's going to result in impaired vision. So in disease processes like Cushing's, like kidney disease, where their fluids are in the incorrect places in the body, then that is where the eye problems come in with the senior pets. Hey there, Katie Wright. Good to see you, ma'am. And then I see Laura. Hey, Laura. And Mrs. Gertrude Croom. How you doing tonight, ma'am? I know you don't have a senior pet over there, or do you? Surprise me. All right. So another thing with older dogs is, well, not just dogs, really any, because like we said, these disease processes could happen in, cats, it could happen in ferrets. A lot of different types of animals can have issues with their eyes as they age. So another one is high blood pressure. For some of the same reasons that we have high blood pressure, pets can have it too. A lot of times it's their diet and their nutritional aspects, sodium levels and things like that. When you have high blood pressure in senior dogs, this can also cause things like acute blindness, acute onset blindness. It can even cause ocular hemorrhage, meaning that pressure is so tough, the eyes are bulging and then the blood vessels burst. And we can also have a retinal detachment as well here in senior pets when they're dealing with a high blood pressure. You definitely want to make a note of that and be very, very aware of what's going on with your pet's eyes, because oftentimes eye issues can worsen very, very quickly, very rapidly. So any changes that happen, you want to seek veterinary attention quickly. All right. So let's see. Do we have any comments about anything? Nope, not yet. If you have any questions or comments about anything about your pet's, senior pet's eyes, or anything else about senior pets, feel free to put that in the chat. Okay. So you know what? I want to share my screen and I'm going to show you something, because I actually have a business partner whose dog had the most amazingly bad eyes. Let me see if I can share this with you. All right. Can you see that? Can you see that? If you can see that, give me a thumbs up in the chat. I want to see some thumbs up if you can see my screen. Hey, Vet Tech Tony. I don't see any thumbs up yet. Okay, can you see? I think you can see my screen. Okay, oh, thumbs up, thumbs up. Yeah, thank you, Vet Tech Tony. Okay, so you can see my screen. So this picture is showing one of my business partners who has a poodle, right? The poodle's name is Sphinx. Isn't Sphinx cute? He's so cute. But in that top photo there, you can see this is Spinks at 13 years old. So at 13 years old, you already know he's going to be a part of the senior pet chat, right? He's a card-carrying member of the senior pet chat. And as you can see, at 13 years old, his eyes had that corneal calcification we were talking about, right? We were talking earlier about that calcified corneal degeneration, where first it starts off just like a mineralized, um, irritating on the surface of the eye, and then that can lead to ulceration. But it looks like here, my business partner, she did something amazing. Yes, she took her dog to the vet. The veterinarian apparently had said, this is normal for this breed. So this breed is a poodle, a mini poodle, and he probably weighs like 10 pounds or less. And so my business partner, Miss John Toussaint, she was worried that he was just going to break his neck jumping, because normally he would jump from couch to couch, when he was younger, and he would be like boom, boom, boom. And now he started jumping into the couch, like shh. So she was super afraid that he was going to break his neck, because with this impaired vision, he could not see where he needed to go. And that is very problematic for our senior pets. Okay. So she, took him to the vet, and they told her, hey, he's a poodle. This is typical for poodles. Why don't you go ahead and buy him a ramp? Yes, they said that. Now, there's nothing wrong with a ramp. She did go ahead and get the ramp. Fantastic. But another thing that she did was she started providing a multivitamin for Spinks. And it's the same exact multivitamin that I use for my dog and that I offer to my veterinary patients. Right here. Looks, smells, and tastes just like a treat. So you definitely... I love using this example because Spinks really made a comeback. As you can see on that bottom video, this is Spinks at 15 years old. Okay. His corneal calcification shrunk down to almost nothing. And what's another thing that we see here that changed from 13 to 15 years old that we probably wouldn't have expected? Put it in the chat if you see something else other than Spinks's amazing eye healing. What else do you see there that has improved after using my multivitamin? Yep, I'm waiting in the chat. That's right. Yep, I was raised by teachers and I'm expecting actual answers. Now, whether or not I get them, I will he said fur. Okay. Yes. Mr. Robert Crazy Air Holmes. The fur. It's all with the fur. Look at that fur. How it darkened back up. How it got back to its original black color. That is amazing. I'm telling you guys. Okay. So for the people that are serious about their senior pets and their eyes, let me go ahead and put my link right here, because this is where you can get my multivitamin. This is where you can use not only for the eyes, but the eyes is so important. How about on those lighter colored dogs where you have the eye and tear staining? Remember that? And a lot of times people think, oh, that's just dirt. And I really, sometimes I do see pet owners that are trying to rub and scrub as if that tear staining is dirt. No, it's not dirt. It is an actual gland that is in there that is being overworked. And again, we've got great testimonials that show how my multivitamin helps to regulate that gland so that we can clear that up, because nobody likes to see that tear staining on their dog, knowing full well their dog is totally healthy, but then having it look like that can be embarrassing sometimes. Okay. So go ahead and go to my link right here, write it down, put it on your hand, write it on your hand, whatever you need to do. This is a holistic product recommended by your holistic vet. That would be me. And one of the reasons is we love senior pets. That's right. They are unique. Each one is an individual, and we love them. Okay. So that's pretty much what I have to say about the eyes. Well, actually, let me see one more thing. Hi there, Rashid Williams and Raina. How you doing, lady? Great to see you. I sounded like an old lady when I said that. How you doing, lady? Some of the other things that you can see in senior pets, if their eyes are, ailing and flailing a little bit, are, we already talked about some cloudiness, right? Squinting. We can have some ocular discharge, the goopy eyes, gunky eyes. You're cleaning them out, and 2 hours later, you're cleaning them out again. Multivitamin, people. That's a good place to start, okay? So everything isn't going to be cured if they've already got a raging infection. Like I said at the top of the hour, sometimes we do need those antibiotics and those steroids. Yes, okay? So even as a holistic vet, I do dispense those to my clients as well. But when I can, for mild cases, for maybe chronic cases where you don't want to keep putting antibiotic strips, right, ointments and steroids into the eyes, you've dealt with it again and again, I'm going to recommend my multivitamin for that, okay? So some of the things that you can do in addition to the multivitamin are having a balanced diet. We know that doing that for pets can be very difficult because with kibble, we know that that's not the highest nutritional value. Regardless of what they try to sell us, we know that kibble has been heat treated and there's preservatives and all those things in there. And it's fine. I mean, I have a bag of kibble in there as well, but I do try to go in the direction of raw feeding for my dog as often as I can. But whether I'm doing kibble or whether I'm doing raw, I always put one of these right in her bowl, okay? Because I know that there's gaps in the nutrition. No one has to tell me twice. I'm giving her a multivitamin every day. Another thing that you can do to keep those eyes together is you want to keep that hair around their eyes nicely trimmed, okay? I mean, sometimes, you see the dogs, and I know with certain breeds, you want to have that certain look and everything, right? But you got to keep the hair trimmed around the eyes well enough to keep from irritating those eyes. And you want to keep it trimmed up so that you can see them clearly enough. It's your responsibility as a pet parent to be observant, right? We always say, oh, pets can't talk, but yes, they can. They talk to you as a pet owner every single time. They talk to you with their eyes. They talk to you with their body motions. They talk to you with their, sounds and different things like that. We got dogs having full-on conversations with their pet parents. Right, Hayes? Okay. All right. And so another thing that you can really do, outside of the balanced diet, occasionally you might need some steroids for those eyes. And then antioxidants is a really big thing. And where are you going to find the antioxidants? You know it, right inside the multivitamin. So that's my time for tonight. I don't see any questions in the comments, but I do see a lot of engagement. So I am so thankful to you guys who tuned in tonight. All of you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Now, if you've got friends or family with senior pets, guide them in my direction. I do virtual visits here in Michigan for pet parents that need, prescriptions and home visits. But I also do holistic consultations with no pharmaceuticals for people outside of Michigan as well. So go to the website. Did I put the website? Go to the website, drcroom.com. And you can find out everything you need there. I've got some amazing herbs as well in the store. Excuse me. And so you can use that link that I gave you before to get the multivitamin. Or if you go to drcroom.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see where it says holistic supplements, and you can find them there as well. So don't forget now, I'm going to be here every Monday night, discussing one of my favorite topics, which is our senior pets. So thank you so much for showing up for your pet, and we'll see you next week. Bye.